Hey, good evening, guys. I hope you guys are doing great. Hope, hope can be a powerful force. Maybe there is no actual magic in it, but but when you know what you hope for most and hold it like a light within you, you can make things happen, almost like magic. We have a lot of hope in our life. For few of us, like start a family, start a dream job, have children, make a lot of money, or even win the lottery, right? So maybe the but if you see the current situation, there are a lot of hopelessness. Like people are losing their jobs, people are losing near dear ones, right? A lot of things happening at this situation. Looking at this situation, like now from the hope and excitement, we get into the loss and discouragement. So how we can get again those hope? I'm Sarbajeet, and I'm an IT professional having more than 13 years of experience. Today we have a very amazing panelist who will talk uh, about hope and how to get hope. Last PIM session we had an amazing session, and we are going to share those learning with you. Let's add me uh, the panel one by one. Okay, let me introduce Nidhi.
Hello everyone, this is Dr. Nidhi here. I am a mental health professional working as a full-time mental health professional from past 6 years, and these days I am teaching as an assistant professor in Jain University, Bangalore. And this is the platform where we are, coming up together to create the hopefulness once again, because this is a situation where every one of us knows that things are going beyond our control. So let's enjoy and let's talk. Let's gather today and enjoy this discussion.
Thank you, Dr. Nidhi. Great to have you. Okay,
Thank you
now
so
let
much,
me
Sarva, to invite me.
pleasure. Let me add Sindhu. Hi,
Hi
Sindhu.
Sarva, hi Nidhi.
Hi,
Hello,
Sindhu.
Sindhu.
Hello.
How are you?
Yes, I'm doing good. How about you guys?
We are also good, Miss Sindhu, and hope
Why,
we
Yeah.
you are also doing great.
Yes,
yeah. Why don't you introduce yourself, Sindhu?
definitely Sarva. Hi everyone, my name is Sindhu. I'm from Bangalore. I'm working in the banking domain. So it's been in the 10 months journey. My journey is amazing, guys. After I joined the PIM and the book club, it's a keep learning. I'm learning every day with a positive mindset. So, as I mentioned, my journey is amazing. So, we all are inviting you guys to join with us. So,
Great.
apart from my hobbies are talking too much, making too many friends, and of course, reading books and little bit cooking. Yeah,
Wow,
that's it, Sarva.
amazing hobbies. Good to have you, Sindhu.
Thank you, Sarva.
Welcome. Okay, let me add ALOK. Uh, Hi, ALOK. Are you okay? Some problem is there, I think. Okay. Let me add Ashish. Hi, Ashish. How are you? You okay? You are on mute. 1 minute.
Mute.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Sarbajeet. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Ashish?
I'm doing really
Great.
great, Sarbajeet. Yeah,
Okay. Please introduce yourself,
sure,
Ashish.
sure. So this is Ashish, and I've been part of the PIM community since last 1 year now, and I hold 12 years of experience in the IT industry. And my hobbies are playing table tennis, listening music, and yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, and good to have you, Ashish.
Thank you.
Uh, okay, let me add Jayanth. Hi,
Hi,
Jayanth.
Sarbajeet. Hi, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, please introduce yourself.
Sure. Hey everyone, I'm Jayanth. I've been part of the PM community for more than 11 months now. And I have over 8 years of experience in the IT industry. And my hobbies include reading, watching movies, listening to music. And then of late, I've been doing a lot of public speaking too. Thank you, Sabah.
Awesome, awesome. Good to have you. Okay, let me try adding Alok one more time. Hi, Alok.
Hello. Yeah, hello. Hi, Sarbajeet.
How are you?
How are you? Yeah, I'm fine.
Uh, okay. Your video is
Hi,
little bit
Sarbajeet. So,
stuck. Yeah, yeah. Please go ahead, Alok.
yeah. Myself, Alok. I have total 9 year of IT experience, and I am associated with him last 4 months, and I am learning so many things from him and our book club as well as our panel discussions. Thanks. Over to you, Sarba.
Thank you, and good to have you, Alok. Okay. Okay. So in the last PIM session, we talked about uh, we talked about the hope, right? How we can we talked about it. Mostly we talked about the career hope, right? How different problem, like personal problem, career problem, health problem. So mostly we talked about career problem, right? So anyone want to talk about the problem, uh, the career problem? We talked about people, right? We talked about people. So anyone want to add some example to that?
Sure, I can go ahead. So one of the things we discussed and what Vijay sir told also in the PM session was about people, how people mostly concentrate on their technical knowledge and then don't concentrate on the people knowledge. And what happens is, and one of the characteristics what Vijay sir told was like people are peculiar. They always think they are right from their point of view. So in that way, what happens is even when they are trying to communicate with other people and they with the lack of people knowledge and then with this kind of mindset, they always find that it's very difficult to communicate with other people and then they lose hope in like moving up to in their career and all those things happens. That's one of the
Right.
things that yeah, that we learned.
Yeah. Anyone want to add any point to that?
I would like to add something related to the people's concept. When we are, stressed out, when we feel that we don't have much area to explore, so that time we start blaming. We start blaming a lot. Either we are blaming others, and if we don't blame others related to the problem, then somehow we turn to our inside ourselves, like we are the reason of this particular problem, and we are the reason like something bad happened out there. So in that way, the problem don't vanish out. It usually exaggerate, and in that way, what happens? We are not able to find out the solution of the problem. Rather, we keep on adding and adding and adding the piles to it, and the problem becomes such a thing in which we don't able to understand how to find out the solution out of it. So
Yeah.
I guess this is a very important aspect, and in which we need to understand how to just come out of it and stop the blame game.
That's a great point. Like we kind of enter into a vicious cycle of problems, right? So and we never come out of that, right?
Exactly.
Amazing point. Anyone want to
We
add?
keep on creating something.
Right, right. Anyone want to add anything related to people, about people, why people are problem? Everyone talk about मैं काम नहीं कर सकता हूँ because because of that person, because of government, right? Anyone want to add anything?
Exactly. As you can see, like these days also people are blaming like hell. Like people are blaming for like every problem, it's the government is responsible.
Right.
Right. Like I would like to add.
Any other? Yeah.
Please.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so people point of view, actually, different people having different personality. As most of us are already having going through disc assessment, which is offering by our PIM community. So we know like different people having like dominant personality, how to behave with D personality, I personality, study personality, as well as for that C personality. So these things everyone should know, because like some of the company like Google, they have created the sessions with like the disc consultants, so that they can aware about all these employee personality, and also that they can communicate with each other. So the same thing is necessary in current scenario, because we need to understand the other person also, means how we need to communicate in that particular situations, and so that we can understand others better. So most of the time, like we blame each others for any
Right.
so the blaming is happen only in a difficult situation. So
Yeah.
that's why the those like the personality we need to first identify the personality and then behave accordingly. Yeah, over to you,
Right.
Sarva.
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
just want to
Then
add
that's
on.
it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Sindhu, go ahead.
Shall I? Okay.
Yeah, please.
So, if you ask anyone, example me, I'm always telling I'm right. If you go check with my manager, he will give big list where I'm not correct. Again, same method. I'm blaming many things with my manager. If you will go and ask with him, he says I'm the perfect man in this earth, right? So always we will not think other person pain, and will never will never understand the other people problem. So that's a one big mess up here. So always try to understand in other uh, people point of view also. So
Yeah. That's a great point. Like as Alok and you were talking about, we fail to understand other people' perspective, right? There is a saying that we have to get into other people eyeball, behind the other people eyeball, right? We have to look in that way. Then only we can understand that, right? Amazing point. Anyone want to add to that?
This
Yeah,
particular point made me think once more point, which is very connected to that one. That when we are talking about other people's perspective, when we think okay, this is the his fault, that fault, or something like that, so we always try to want to prove ourselves. We don't think about it. We just want to jump to the conclusion.
Right.
So that is the issue which I feel like which is the contributing factor actually. So
Right.
instead of finding out the solution out there, we just try to jump to the conclusion. Yes, like Alok just mentioned recently that we need to figure it out what is the kind of personality we are dealing with. But I guess we don't take that much time. We just
Right.
zoom, don't even hear to that, and just jump to the conclusion.
Yeah. Great point. Great point. I mean, that's a common problem that we face. Ashish, you want to
right.
Yeah.
add anything to that?
Yeah, I think everybody covered very nicely about the problems. And just to addition to all those points, so I think given the current situation, people are very much insecure, and they have kind of inferiority complex also, like about their technical know-hows and their own personality, right? And due to that, they are not able to communicate effectively due to the things like they're stressed out, they're occupied with their work, and given this work from home situation, right, it has added to that stress part, because you have to manage all the things at the same time, your family, your kids, and you have to manage your work also. So all these conditions basically they have added to a bit stress also, and which is resulting in people jumping to the conclusions very soon without understanding the other person's perspective, as
Perspective.
Nidhi and Sindhu was telling. So yeah, I think
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. That's a great point. Like we lose the focus and we started saying that there are a lot of work pressure has started after this
Exactly.
pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Jayant, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, yeah. Ashish covered it very well. I just want to add to his point that we are right now, because of this situation we are in with the lockdown, with the work from home, like 24/7. We have been in work from home mode for like more than a year now, and I think think most of the times we are always in the firefighting mode. We are actually trying to deal with the situation at home, whatever is happening there, and then we think of doing something, and then we cannot do because we, as I said, like we're in the firefighting mode. We cannot plan out things properly, and then we get
Right.
frustrated. Okay, we are not able to do this. We thought we can do that, but then we think that okay, this is something we cannot do, and then we just give up. So
Right.
yeah, we are in that kind of situation where everyone is stressed out and everyone is like becoming hopeless because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will add to Jen's point that people are people, and we can't escape them. Because
Yeah,
that's why Vijay has said that if you don't want to be with the people or you don't want to walk with other people, then unluckily we have to walk alone. So let's see like how we
very
can
true.
resolve these kind of issues, and we'll
At the
give some
end of the
solution.
day, we need to learn how to cooperate with them, how to, just cooperatively deal with them, and how to work together, because that's the essence of life.
Right.
And the
Right.
awesome example where Vijay sir mentioned in the sessions, if you're not the people person, then lock yourself 2 months in a one room. Let's see the situation, how you will react. It's amazing the
Very true.
example what he given. Really, yeah, it's amazing.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I want to add one more point is that like people discourage people. I mean, they try to instigate people that,
Pull.
and yeah, pull legs and all that they do, right? So anyone want to add their own experience with that, rather than encouraging people, people start discouraging, uh,
Discouraging people.
right?
I don't have the examples related to it, but yes, I want to add certain thing here. As we are
Sure.
talking about insecurities, as we are talking about that people always focus on the problematic side, they start thinking about that. Without listening to them, they just want to give their own opinion, they want to give their own judgments. So in that particular thing, they start losing hope. They start thinking like, okay, if I am not able to succeed because of all those things, I will not allow someone else to achieve that particular feat in my presence. And in that way, they don't realize it, but they somehow start creating negativity to that particular aspect. And in that particular negativity, they are not able to find out, okay, this is not the solution. They need to focus again upon themselves, what they can do to make the situation right, what they can do to achieve a particular task, what they can do to make themselves better. Rather, they just start thinking about another one, to whom they feel jealous or maybe envious or something, or they start pulling the leg. So rather, instead, to do or just trap into that vicious cycle, we need to step back, we need to gain our focus again, and then after taking a breath, we need to focus on that area, how we can improve our own situation, rather than disturbing someone else's situation.
Great point, Nidhi. Yeah, so now we talked about all the problems. So what is the
I
solution?
want to say one thing, Sarva, my own
Yeah, sure.
experience.
Yeah,
So
please.
when I joined the book club, I started spreading the good vibrations in my circle. People start telling me that, see, you already married, you already working. So where is the time to be reading the book, all those stuff? Why you're simply taking additional tension? But now the people are seeing me the changes. Then now they're telling, "Oh, you changed a lot, Sindhu. How come we didn't realize it?" Without helping me, encouraging me, that they are demotivating me. So later when
Yeah.
they've seen my changes, now they're realizing. So I'm happy with these changes.
And that's a great point, Sindhu. And on that point, like, and at this time, the mental piece is an important one, right? So if you now people are blocked in their house, and when husband wife get into the same home for 24 hours, they get into fight and all that, right? So that mental piece is missing. Right? Earlier people they used to do is they go out and enjoy and then get some change of mind, right?
Break.
Now, but
Exactly.
now people are understanding that how much mental peace is required, right? That is the
They
main
are
thing,
stuck
right?
with each other
And I think
Right.
and they have to deal with
now,
it.
Yeah,
yeah, and
please, Ashish.
I think now people are getting the real essence of a Big Boss ka ghar, which they used to watch in the television.
Very true.
Right.
And every house has become the big boss house. You can see the light.
Yeah,
So they don't have to watch. They can manage themselves. Great
Yeah, I
point.
guess that's why this season also stopped this year.
Oh, great. Great
Yeah,
point.
and this is the point where they start blaming each other. Whoever is at the house, they start with the
Exactly.
house, and then they start blaming each other, and
You are the
then
cause of my
they,
problem.
yeah, and that's what, like, I think Dr. Nidhi also was telling the at that time. Instead of focusing on themselves, they start focusing on others, and they start seeing, okay, what is the what is, they start seeing all the, they start listing all the deficiencies in the other person, and then say, okay, because of this I'm suffering here. Why don't you change instead of changing themselves?
Right. And one more point, Vijay has said that I mean, apart from blaming others, we blame ourselves also. Like when we fail blaming others,
Yeah,
so what we do? अरे यार मैं तो ऐसे ही हूँ, मैं कर ही नहीं सकता हूँ ये सब.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we
And
blame ourselves, right?
this is this is how my nature is, right? So people used to say that this is my nature, right? I'm not
Yeah,
going to change. If your manager says something, then if you behave something weird, then you tell to your friend that okay, this is how I am, right?
yeah.
But what is the
Your
solution
point
now with
made me realize one thing. Like, if we connect this particular part to psychology, it is the point which we call as a guilt conscious. If we are not able to, blame others, we start thinking that, okay, this situation is something which is because of me. And as
great?
you are really pointing out into the right direction, that what is the solution? How
Yeah,
we can overcome from it?
you want to share, Dr. Nidhi, the solution part?
I would like to conclude it. First, you all guys, just put up your own
Yeah, sure,
insight
sure.
onto it.
so
And
Nidhi,
you
Dr. Nidhi will reveal the secret at the end.
the right secret,
I will just
right?
try to join the threads.
Sure, sure,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
And if,
solution part. If I talk about Sarva, so I think we were talking about like why people are so peculiar. They have their own challenges, right? So I think the crux would be like, okay, if we are good at something, then let's try that, and let's not focus like what other people are telling to us, and uh, and same applies to myself also. Like if somebody else is trying some new thing, right? And if he's good at that, and maybe he's giving it a try, right? Maybe at some point of in life. So maybe even I also don't need to discourage that guy, because instead of discouraging, let's start encouraging other people in their about their know-how, about their knowledge, about their expertise, or whatever they are good at, right? So that is one solution, like which will actually help individuals to have better relations in these tough times where everybody is working remote, and people don't get to see their other people's faces, and only through Zoom only we can see their faces, but down the line we don't know how the other person is feeling, and that physical connect is missing these days. And the only solution which I see is, okay, let's empathize with other people, and not let's not discourage them, always try to encourage them. Yeah, that's it.
right. That's a great point. Like even in now in these days, right? We talk and we talk over chat. I prefer talking over phone, because when you talk, you get that feeling, right? And I mean, you can feel that what other guys. You can feel the mood of other person, right? So when you chat, you doesn't get that feel, right? That's a great point, Ashish.
And
Anyone want to add? Yeah,
Can
Yeah.
I add, Sarva? Okay.
yeah,
So,
go ahead,
Yeah, Jan, go
Jan.
ahead.
good, Janti.
okay. So I think Alok was making a point earlier about different personalities, right? It's about how, and add to Ashish's point as well, we should try not to make other people insecure. And then when I say that, that means that you need to understand from their point of view. And then I think all of you had added like earlier about seeing from their behind, from their eyeball and everything. But then it's about not understanding their personality, and then acting accordingly. I mean, it does not take much of effort to do that. or I mean, you don't lose anything as well. And you have
Right.
the how you, I mean, that's another thing. Like, why do you want to make other people feel insecure? And I mean, they are themselves, like, they are going through a lot of things because of this whatever situation they're in. Why do you want to add to that and make them insecure as well? So just try to understand their point of view, and then be empathetic, and then
Right.
be and you'll be able to add a lot of value to their life as well when you do that.
Right. And I think that's a great point, Jayanth. And with effective communication workshop, I think you can understand all this, the communication pattern and the feeling of other person, right? What kind of
I
person,
agree.
and then you can do that thing, right? You can
Yeah, there
avoid
are
that
so many.
insecurity,
Yeah, I mean, every person has their needs, and then we just need to understand what is their need before we
right?
actually try to connect with them. Otherwise, we for sure we're going to make them insecure if you don't understand their need.
Great, great point, Jayanth. And anyone want to add to that
Shall I
blaming
go?
part? Yeah,
I guess Sindhu has something to say.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
Sindhu,
yeah,
go ahead,
yeah.
please.
The global blaming, like either I'm blaming myself, or else I'm blaming other people.
Right,
But I never think the solution. I'm not going to take any responsibility. Example, I'm thinking my salary is
Very
less.
true.
I'm not going to search any job. I'm always telling, "Arey yaar, the market is very down now." Especially my
Very
friends
true.
are telling, "No, no, 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 don't put on papers, Sindhu. You will never get it. You already engaged in so many things. Now wait for 6 months. Later you can do it." But the person is telling
Very
only
true.
she got it somewhere. Can you believe? Imagine that. So
Yeah,
always, trusting ourselves is the best. Better don't blame yourself and not to blame other people. So take responsibility.
exactly.
Definitely will achieve the things. Yeah.
yeah, that's a
Very
great
true.
point. I mean, take the responsibility and change your nature, right? Change your nature, change your
Exactly.
situation, right? That is the, I mean, that is how you can overcome that blame game, whether
Very
that's
So
true.
on your,
I
yeah,
would
I want
like
to
to
add a
add
point here.
something here.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead,
Thanks,
Nidhi.
Jayanth. This is a
Yeah.
very important aspect here, which I want to relate it with the situation which is going out there. Right now, we are in the middle of the peak of the pandemic. Second wave is around us. We cannot go out. We cannot explore much. We don't have that much friends. We don't have that much community around it, right? We might be very far, sitting very far from our homes, and might be working alone and all those things. But the point is, why we wanna drag someone else, because everyone is working alone right now. Everyone is working, just they are trying to give their best. So right now, instead of dragging them, instead of pulling their legs, if we just try to encourage them, if we try to pull them together, if we try to just give them a little hope, a little positivity, a little ray of positivity, then they will be able to feel secure. They will be able to feel okay. There is so many things which I can still do instead of being stuck in the home. So in that way, we will be able to find out that these increasing insecurities, these increasing anxiety attacks, depression all around, and where people are not able to find out the solution of the situation, we will be able to help, contribute in that way. Maybe not through the monetary purpose or the medicinal purpose, but yes, as a human touch, from the
right,
empathetic touch, we will be able to add some sort of quality to their life, where we will be able to tell them, okay, you are not alone. You are not, you are not just individual who is working like that. We all are together in it.
great.
So that is the point which I would like to add. And yes, working together is the key right now.
Right. Awesome. Great point, Dr. Nidhi. And just to add that, like I saw one video where, people in hospital, in the COVID ward. So I saw the nurses and the patient, they were dancing on a Bollywood track. Right,
Yeah,
Jindagi Hai Safar Suhana. So it was so amazing.
to see them.
I mean, the view, right? Like people are
Very
getting
true.
hope to get cure as soon as possible. I mean, in those ways, small steps can add lot of value to people life, right? Yeah,
Very
that's a
true.
great point. Jayanth, you are saying something. Sorry.
Yeah. So I wanted to add one point about gratitude. So basically, that's one of the things which we can do as a I mean, it's an essential thing we have to, all of us have to do. Gratitude, when I say gratitude, it's about being thankful for everything we are getting right now. So I mean, we see a lot of negativity around us, a lot of things were going on. For every small thing we are thankful for, every small thing we are thanking someone, you're actually adding positivity into the life of the other person, and also to your life as well. Because gratitude is not for other people, just for other people, it's for yourself. When you pay gratitude to others, you are actually feeling fulfilled. So I mean, in a
Great.
way, like it's a form of self care. So one
Yeah.
like anything you get, any small thing you get in your life, you should actually start paying gratitude for that, because you are here and you are actually like you have a lot of things to look forward to, and that is the hope you get because of the gratitude.
Great,
Very
great
true.
point.
I guess Jayan just expressed very important aspect, which is just opposite to, when we were blaming others. Instead of blaming others, we should be thankful for others. We should be,
Exactly.
we just need to shift our focus to those things which we are thankful for instead of blaming. Very
Right.
nice point, Jayan.
So I
I
have
just, yeah, please, Ashish,
I
go
have
ahead.
one quote, Sarba here. The quote is like, uh, I mean, I just forgot that quote. Let me recollect it. Yeah, that was praise loudly and blame softly. Just to add that.
Great
That's so
point, great
nice.
point,
That's
Ashish.
nice.
And uh, yeah, I mean, I see people, blaming company, their own organization, that they are not getting hikes, they are not getting a lot of things, the perks, right? They used to get. But I mean, even if I talk about my few of my colleagues, or they were talking about, okay, we don't have hike and all that, we are not getting properly. I mean, I express in different way that I said at least we should be thankful that we are getting salaries, right? People are
Exactly.
not getting
True.
salaries, right?
Yeah.
People
Very
are,
true.
I mean, they are cutting salaries, or they are not get, they are not. I mean, companies are firing the people, right? So, lot of
Yeah.
things are happening.
Yeah.
I
At
mean,
least if
even the
we are
small thing, right? A
right,
small thing like the
True.
work from home, even working from home is a privilege. A lot of people don't
right,
Yeah.
get that.
Very true.
So we
Yeah.
need,
Very
yeah.
true.
That's correct.
great point. Yeah,
Yeah.
and. We talked about focus, we talked about blaming, we talked about people, and what is that coming to conclusion? If we want to um talk about coming to the conclusion so early, uh, what is the
Jumping to the
solution?
conclusion.
Yeah,
Yeah. So here, I guess, instead of just thinking about our own self, if we try to, just take a deep breath and try to listen what someone else is trying to say, what they are trying to mention, at least instead of just jumping upon the conclusion and just hearing out and just giving our own opinion instead of listening to them. So I guess listening carefully will help, really, really it will help. And after listening carefully, if we put some empathy towards it, so I guess
right.
jumping to the conclusion will resolve automatically. But yes, these two things are very, very challenging
Yeah, great
to
point.
achieve, I
Um,
guess.
Great point. So we have to be a good listener, so that then only we can understand other people' view, right? And then we
Yeah,
doesn't jump into the conclusion. That's a great
Yeah.
point.
I would like to add to Dr. Nidhi's point, like as listening always has an important aspect, right? In terms of like, are we really empathizing with the people or not? But at the same time, I want to highlight like communicating effectively is also very much essential, because you are
very
listening to
true.
the people, but you are not able to communicate your own things in an effective manner to the other person. And
Right.
Very true.
again, people are people, so don't
Yeah,
assume, as Vijay always cover in all the session, don't assume that people will
assume.
assume everything good about you. So try to
Yeah.
communicate effectively at those crucial moments when you have to highlight your work, or maybe when you have to support the team, right? Because sometimes we forget, like, okay, if I have to support the team, okay, nobody, uh, I mean, everybody will come to know, I mean, on their own, like, okay, this guy is very much helpful. But sometimes you need to highlight those things
Speak up.
so that you are
Yeah.
communicating effectively at the crucial times, maybe so that you also become a leader in your team, and the you have more visibility in the team. And that's why if you have more visibility in your team, in your organization, obviously your importance will always be there, and you'll always be considered as the important yeah,
Aspect.
individual.
Yeah, yeah. I
True.
mean, people talk about that like they wanted to be individual contributor and that they doesn't need anything else. They'll just want to work continuously. But I think whether you are an individual contributor or a leader, I mean, you need to have good listening skills, right?
True.
Right.
I want to
Exactly.
add one point,
Listen.
Sarva.
Yeah.
Always we are assuming. The assuming is always a negative way only. The negative one, we all always thinking in it, which is real one. So until unless to understand in real one means assuming something, at least dig something to understand clearly. Anyhow, whatever we assume it is a negative one, which is it is not real. So
Right.
before taking any conclusion, think twice.
Yeah, as people do assume, and then they create their own context and then start assuming things and then concluding, right? So that's a great point, Sindhu. And uh, and in the focus part, Vijay was talking about multitask and multiple tasks. Anyone want to uh, talk about that? Any example?
I guess we all are the example of it.
We all are full
We
of
all
examples.
exactly. We all are trying to do something like
Yes,
that.
we have our own examples.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
very true. And we are
right.
experiencing the same thing because we feel like, we are on the same boat on this thing. We just
Right.
try to do so many things at once and we feel like, okay, this particular thing should finish it out. And by doing, so many things simultaneously together, I guess we will be able to finish it. But that exercise which we did in that particular event, like on Saturday, it was really shocking. And I was seriously surprised to know about that. I used to think that multitasking always helps, but it was a like myth breaker for me.
Right,
I
right.
have
And
one real example, Sarva, but I will
Go ahead.
share here. The
Sure.
multitask, it was happened, I think, a long time ago. Like I was on call, something team huddle. Just I was scrolling my mobile. I'm just listening. Anyhow, it is not important things. Let them discuss. We are doing our own things. Then I was scrolling my mobile. I was seeing. Later, what happened? My manager told me to prepare MOM. Then the moment I was thinking, what this guy spoke to me, team huddle. Then I was talking. It is a funny again. It is very bad situation for me. Yeah.
Very true.
That's the great point. Great example, actually. Must be
Yeah,
an
I mean, it has. I think it has happened for most of us, where
right.
Yeah, true.
like we just zone out after our piece in the
Exactly.
meeting, and then we think that okay, I mean, we'll multitask. We'll just like listen to them and then do something whatever we want to do. But we'll be like neither here nor there. We even the thing we are
Yeah,
supposed to do, we won't be doing it.
Great, great.
very, very, very true.
Anyone, anyone want to add the solution? What is the solution? Now we talked about like
yeah,
all the
yeah,
problems of multitask.
yeah.
What
I
is the
will. I would like
solution?
to. Yeah, yeah, sure. Obviously, I would like to share the solution. So, I mean, try to be. I mean, don't try to be a multitasker, but yeah, try to do multiple tasks, but not again at the same time. Book the slot,
One by
and
one.
yeah, one by one, and try to identify in your daily routine like what all things you need to focus. First of all, have a to-do list. And now if I talk about the to-do list, it doesn't mean like the to-do list should be full of 20 items or 25 items for a single day. otherwise uh, Otherwise to-do list itself will become a big task for you.
Hectic problem.
Right, right. And
so
very
so
good.
always
Very
yeah.
true.
Yeah, go ahead, Ashish.
Yeah, so focus on the top three important items in a day, which are I mean, you can say the top P3 items for you. and always focus on each of them one at a time. Don't try to acquire, or don't try to devote the time to all of those items in a single shot. And like I earlier I said, like, book the slot. And when you are focusing on one item, then forget about the other two things. Just assume, like, okay, those two even doesn't exist. Focus on that one item first of all, and once
This
it
is
is
such
done,
a
once you have
challenging task.
accomplished. I know it's a very challenging, and given the present situation when we have so many things to take care, and we all are
Yeah.
victims of that somewhere about. And but yeah, we all are still trying to improve, and that's what we are learning through these PM workshops, and the learning still goes on. Yeah, thank you.
Great, great. And I think in this pandemic, this is as Nidhi was saying, and as you said, Ashish, like it's a challenge, right? At this pandemic, like people coming for delivery, people coming, your kid coming and then disturbing you, and there are so many things happening all together, right?
Yeah,
And that's why
Very true.
people keep on saying that, pandemic added a lot of work pressure, and to-do list is a great solution, right? And I think prioritizing your to-do list is the key point, right?
exactly,
Right, where
exactly.
you can
I,
actually handle. Yeah,
your point give me a clue, give me a hint here once again. Like, as we are talking about work from home these days, we are managing the family and work all together. So, okay, you can manage the to-do list from your workplace, but what you will do about your home? How you will stop interrupting, how you will, stop them, coming out of it and all. So I
So
guess you need to give some buffer time between, like, okay, this will be the family time, this will be the work time, okay, and you need to make them understand, okay, this is it, like, this is your work also, this is your home also. So you also need to understand, I need to work also, and in between just take us some break and then try to mingle up with the family, come back, sit again, like Vijay was mentioning about, like, give yourself like 2 hours session. Okay, and focusing on those
exactly,
2 hours, it will be more than enough, you will be more effective in that way. So I guess
exactly.
managing these two things is very, very, herculean task these days.
Great point.
Yeah.
I just want to add one point, Sarva.
Yeah, yeah, Sindhu, please.
After I attained the sessions only, I came to know what I big mistake I did in my life. So as soon as I reach to my office, again I will go for tea break. So after only I will enter to my floor. This is a big mistake I did. So now
Yeah.
the Vijay sir mentioned that. Do you know, guys, what is the difference between the CEO and the normal employee? Yes, I agree. I did the mistake, but in future I will not do that. But
That's a
yes,
great.
we should focus at least in the 2 hours when you
That's a
enter into the office. Yeah.
that's a great
True.
strategy actually. Vijay has shared. Right. Awesome. Awesome. I
Coffee, tea
hope.
break,
Yeah,
chat,
so I
tea.
want to add one point there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to
Sure.
Nidhi's point, Dr. Nidhi's points and Ashish's point. So about focus, right? And they talked about to-do list and then giving buffer time, and it's also important to be in that moment. Like I think one of you
True.
were mentioning about thinking or not thinking about the other things. So being in that
Zoning
Right.
moment
out.
is like very difficult. So it's like if you're with your family, if it's your family time, or even if you're working, you shouldn't be thinking of your family, or vice versa. If that happens, then the whole point of the to-do list, everything goes away. Like you need to be in that moment and then work. I mean, I know it's very difficult. Even I know I find it very difficult to do, but then it's
This is the
essential to do that.
challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
so
This is the
simple
challenge.
statement. Living in
yeah,
present, saying is so simple, but doing it so difficult. Right.
yeah.
Great
True.
point.
At least we all are honest. People are not honest these days.
Being honest,
Yeah.
reduce a lot of pressure also.
Exactly.
and
Acceptance.
at
Yeah,
least
that's what we
and
said.
at least we have to true to ourselves, honest to ourselves, right? At least we can say to I can say to Ashish that, oh, I'm always be present. I'm always focusing on my present, but at least I
True.
should tell to myself that, okay, I'm not focusing on present.
Yeah.
Great point. I think we all covered lot of good strategies to how to get into the hope again, and then start living, right? Start living and start utilizing this time, this COVID time, so effectively, rather than complaining, blaming, right? Rather than losing hope, getting frustrated due to different reason, right? all these things we can do, and I hope you guys have learned a lot of things from this session. Mm, yeah, so before we close the session, I want to hear the last message from everyone. Nidhi, you want to share any last
Yes.
message?
Yeah, I would like to say, as you were mentioning, that instead of focusing on the blaming game, and the negative outcomes and all those things, we need to focus upon that. Okay, we all are in this together. We are going to support each other. We are going to encourage each other. We don't, let other people feel that they are alone in this situation. Okay, so empathy and listening, which we learned very recently, we need to apply it in our day-to-day life. So that's what I want to say. And if you are not able to reach to that point, then don't worry, seek help. We all are there.
Great.
Awesome.
And Dr. Nidhi is an expert on that area. So we can get a lot of learning from her. So thank you, Dr. Nidhi.
I am
Uh,
also learning from you guys, because you guys are so pro in this. You know the insight coming from you. I am also learning so many things here. Thank you so much, guys, for having me here.
thank you, Dr. Nidhi. Yeah, Sindhu, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure, Sarva. So after I completed this sessions, joined this community, I I'm avoided my multitask and always thinking in the positive mindset, and I'm the good listener. So with this,
Thank you, Sindhu. Great to have you. Yeah, Ashish, you want to share?
Yeah, yeah, sure, Sarbajeet. Thank you. Yeah, so the last message I would like to give, like, don't blame yourself, just be yourself, and focus, prioritize on the things, and try to attract all the good things. Stay away from the negativity, and let the law of attraction work in favor of you, not against you. And yeah, do meditation, spend time with your family, and yeah, prioritize the things. Yep, that's it. Thank you.
Great point. Thank you, Ashish. Yeah, Jayanth, you want to
Yeah.
share your last? Yeah,
Yeah, sure, Sabha. So, along with prioritizing your to-do list, like with your work and with your family, you need to prioritize some time for yourself as well. That's also important in this time. Self-care is something that's often neglected, and then we don't realize like after till it reaches a critical point. So, it is very important. And I would say like this. It was a great discussion today, and then as you can see with this without this community, whatever the PIM community, this kind of association is not possible. So I'm very grateful for this association and whatever I'm learning from here. Thank you.
thank you, Jayanth. And from my side, and you guys have seen that, like, we talk in this all this negative situation, all this crisis situation, we are still talking positive, because it's inbuilt in our mind, right? So it's all because of this association, right? We also get trapped by all this negative sometime, but we come out so easily just because of this association, right? If any of you want to join this association, just ping any of us, and then you can also be part of this community, and uh, just add more positivity to the world, right? I want to end. There is a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. uh, he says that we must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. We have
Awesome.
disappointment is finite, right? But hope is infinite. So we should realize that, and continue uh, keeping the hope. Thank you so much, and
That's
have
an
a great day.
amazing message.
That's a great point to end with, and
Yeah.
amazing hosting, Sabajit.
very nice.
Thanks
Yeah.
Thank
for
you,
such a
thank you,
Thank you
such a
so
guys.
great
much,
host.
guys.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sarva.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you,
support.
everyone. Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
Bye bye.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Good
Good night.
night.
Thank you, guys.
Night.
Bye, guys. Be hopeful.